Hi everyone, I'm Alicia and this is my review for We're All in This Together by Amy Jones. I'm going to be straight up with you. I might be a little bit biased towards this book because it brings up a lot of sentimentality in me, and so I feel like it might make me, it connects me more to this book than maybe if I hadn't known where this was taking place, which is Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada, which is where I went to university. I've read a lot of books that take place in Toronto, where I lived before university, and Hamilton, where I live now, but none of them, both the cities are so big that a scene can take place on a street that I know well, but I feel like so many memories happen there of so many people that it just it doesn't have the same effect. Whereas Thunder Bay was a huge part of my life. Partly, I was on my own for the first time and it was university, and who doesn't remember their university times? And Thunder Bay, I don't know if anybody watching this knows Northern Ontario, but it's a very isolating place. Thunder Bay is the biggest city where it sits. The next city outside of Thunder Bay is about 6 hours away, and that's Duluth, which is in the United States. And there's a whole bunch of little cities around, but they're towns that grew up along the railway as it was built through. Southern Ontario gets very cold. The winter gets about -30, -40 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, so if you're American, it's really cold. It's basically all I can say for that. And it just, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot going on in there. Because of this feeling of isolation, Thunder Bay kind of feels like its own little pocket. So when a scene in the book is described as having taken place in Hillcrest Park, I remember the time that I locked my keys in my car at Hillcrest Park, or, they mention bars that I've been to and bars that have since gone under because bars pop up here and there in Thunder Bay. It's really weird. But, so I think that, I think I would still have a connection to the book if I hadn't known Thunder Bay, but because it's a well-written book, but I think it probably means more to me because I do know the city. That being said, I believe that the characters and the stories that are taking place are people and scenarios that everybody can associate with. So it's not like you don't need to be from Northern Ontario to understand this book. You will still enjoy it. The author, Amy Jones, describes herself as a writer, dancer, theme park junkie, sandwich lover, and bear enthusiast. She was born in Halifax, Nova Scotia on the east coast of Canada, and went to university in British Columbia on the west coast of Canada, and eventually moved to Thunder Bay, which is kind of central. Not really, it's kind of, I think, east of central, but I feel like a lot of people kind of think of it as central. So she published her first book of collected stories in, I believe, 2008. That's what she won the award for, but then I've also read things that say it was published in 2009, so that might be, a new publisher or a certain print. Either way, it was well received by readers. People loved it, so that's great. We're All in This Together is her debut novel, and she is said to be currently living in Thunder Bay and working as an associate editor for the Arts and Culture magazine, The Walleye. I follow her on social media, so I see a lot of things where I feel like she doesn't live in Thunder Bay anymore, but I mean, it's not like it's a big deal, but I feel like that's not true anymore. So this book follows a family, and the fallout after the matriarch of the family goes over the waterfall, Kakabeka Falls, in a barrel. The event is videotaped and of course goes viral. And so this, it follows several different people's account, twin daughters, the husband, the adopted son, and a few other characters along the way, and just kind of the way that the fallout happens, why she decided to take a barrel over the falls to begin with. The one sister, Finn, had moved away previously to southern Ontario 3 years before the incident and hadn't really talked to anybody since. So coming back, she deals with a lot of pushback from her sister and her sister's children. The one girl, you know, she's dealing with love for the first time, and there's just a lot going on. I don't really want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything. But the book really hits on issues such as mental illness, marriage, the ups and the downs, just the different aspects of love, both good, bad, heartbreaking, and not only between romantic partners, but between family members as well. It also briefly touches on the racism towards the Indigenous population, which is something that is very, very, very prevalent in Thunder Bay. It's actually astounding and awful. And while it's briefly touched on in the book, it's not fully discussed, which I think is something I kind of wish I would have seen more of, because it's something that you definitely can't get away from in Thunder Bay, unfortunately. So I think giving a glimpse at it, as the book does, is good, because at least it's addressing it. I think that if the book just ignored that aspect of Thunder Bay, I probably would have been a little bit upset about it. But it did, and I'm happy about it. I just wish there could have been more. But as it is, that's okay. Now, the book actually did take me a while to read, and it's not because I wasn't enjoying it, but I really hated some of the characters. And I think I was probably supposed to hate them. And if not, whoops. But I mean, no characters were perfect. They all had their flaws. And I really like books that have characters with flaws, because it frustrates me when I'm reading about a character and like their biggest flaws, they don't believe in themselves. And then in the end, they believe in themselves and everything is perfect, because like, to me, that's just not reality. And I kind of, I have a hard time relating with those books, although they can be like inspiring. A part of me also finds that they're not, because who could ever hope to be like that person? So I really do like books that have flaws. So these characters are definitely flawed, but sometimes I just got so frustrated at their flaws, which kind of made me put the book down. Most of them are very selfish people and jealous. And so that's kind of, you know, those are traits you don't really want to be around, and reading them in the book kind of still makes you frustrated, especially when you read, because the book is in so many different people's perspectives. When you read the opposite sides, you know, the one person's so frustrated that this other person didn't do something, and it's actually a misunderstanding. It's it's frustrating. As I've already said, I know, but it's really what I felt sometimes. But I also believe that when dealing with family struggles, you have to deal with that frustrating area that comes between siblings and parents and the whole. It did have very realistic relationships, I believe. A lot of it focused on, married partners and siblings, and as I am not married nor do I have siblings, I'm kind of just going off of what I see and hear from other people, but I believe that they were all believable relationships. And some of the situations that take place in the book I think are very grandiose and kind of unrealistic in a sense, but at the same time I find that the realism of the characters and the setting of Thunder Bay and its kind of frozen in time feeling pull the crazy scenes down. It's kind of the flip between, these characters and the situation. I don't think that makes sense. I'm really sorry. I'm trying to think of the best way because there's something I want to say, but it's a spoiler, and obviously you don't want a spoiler. I find it works either way. I think the grandiose situations are needed, and it's definitely, you don't reel it in like, oh my god, seriously, this would never happen. Although when you look back and you're like, that would probably never happen, but you don't, at least I didn't think of it at the time. So that's all I really have to say about this book. It's just that I enjoyed it. There's not much else I can kind of say about it. I'm trying to think of new videos to do and things to discuss as I go along, and hopefully I can start some new things. And I contemplated doing a haul video, but I feel like I don't want to get myself excited about buying books because I should really stop buying books. So read We're All in This Together by Amy Jones. I'm meeting Amy Jones in the middle of May, which I'm very looking forward to. I think it'll be great to meet her. You'll probably hear me actually talk about a few more authors that I'm going to meet, Canadian authors that I'm going to meet in the middle of May. My work is having our fundraiser, which is to raise money and awareness for children's literacy in Canada. And we have a whole bunch of authors coming. So any authors' books that I have that are coming to the event but I haven't read yet, I want to get read. Not because I have to, but because I have this opportunity and I kind of just want to know what they're like. So I'll probably talk about some more. Unless I don't like them, then I probably won't, because I don't really want to post a video online and say like, God, this book is awful, and then meet them. Not that they're probably going to see it, not that most people are probably going to see it, but for my own self-preservation, I probably won't do that. But so if you hear me talk more about them, that's why I started reading this one, and it's why I read Sachi Cole's One Day We'll All Be Dead and None of This Will Matter, because I get to meet her too, which I'm very excited about. Because I think I said in a previous video, I'm pretty sure me and her are going to be best friends. So that's all. I hope to be back next Monday with a thoroughly exciting and hopefully new style of video. I'm learning as I'm going here, so we'll see what happens. Until next time, have a great day and have fun reading.